Senator Patty Murray is calling on Senators Josh Hawley of Missouri and Ted Cruz of Texas to resign. Mr. Hawley and Mr. Cruz, both Republicans, were leading voices in the push to object to the Electoral College results. Their objection was doomed to fail and widely viewed as a way for the two possible 2024 presidential contenders to score political points with President Trump supporters that believed the election was stolen. Mrs. Murray, the third-ranking Democrat in the Senate, said the job of Congress is to keep this country a democracy where voices win, not brute force. She said, "Any senator who stands up and supports the power of force over the power of democracy has broken their oath of office. Senators Hawley and Cruz should resign." Chris Coons also has called on Senators Hawley and Cruz to step down. Mr. Cruz and Mr. Hawley also have faced blowback from Republicans. Senator Ben Sasse said in an interview with NPR that Mr. Hawley's decision to object to the Electoral College votes was a terrible idea. The Nebraska Republican said, "This was a stunt. It was a terrible, terrible idea." Mrs. Murray said there can be no normalizing or looking away from attack on the United States Capitol by a pro-Trump mob angry over the results of the election. She said, "The violent mob that attacked the Capitol was made up of people who don't accept democracy, and want to take this country by use of force. This is not how we keep our people and our country free." House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced Friday her colleagues have decided to move forward with impeaching President Trump for a second time if he does not resign. After an hours-long meeting, the California Democrats said members of Congress hope President Trump will resign, but if not, they'll move forward on their own. She announced, "I have instructed the Rules Committee to be prepared to move forward with Congressman Jamie Raskin's 25th Amendment legislation and a motion for impeachment. Accordingly, the House will preserve every option, including the 25th Amendment, a motion to impeach, or a privileged resolution for impeachment. Under the 25th Amendment, a president can be removed from office should the vice president and a majority of the cabinet agree, or, alternatively, the vice president and another body that Congress designates for the purpose of determining a president's fitness." Mr. Raskin's legislation would establish that alternative body. It would be comprised of doctors and former statesmen, such as ex-presidents, all named by the top leaders in Congress. Getting that legislation approved in the time before President Trump leaves is likely impossible, given the Senate isn't slated to reconvene in full until just before the inauguration. And even then, Vice President Mike Pence would still have to pull the trigger on ousting his boss. The White House on Friday criticized Democrats' effort to impeach President Trump a second time as politically motivated and divisive. White House Deputy Press Secretary Judd Deere said, "As President Trump said yesterday, this is a time for healing and unity as one nation. A politically motivated impeachment against a president with 12 days remaining in his term will only serve to further divide our great country." House Democrats conferred for more than 3 hours Friday and tentatively agreed to introduce articles of impeachment next week over the storming of the Capitol by Trump supporters. Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska added her voice on Friday to the growing list of Republicans calling for President Trump to leave office early, before his term ends on January 20. She told the Anchorage Daily News, "I want him to resign. I want him out. He has caused enough damage."